joking. Welcome to today's video, guys. Although you may at first glance think that we are a JDM shop or a drift shop, believe it or not, we are the #1 Porsche exhaust modification YouTube channel on all of the internet. And today we're diving back into the 964 yet again. We never got to admire Johan's beautiful fab work with this thing up in the air. Modified these headers and they look absolutely beautiful, and they clear the tire now. But when I made this video and I showed off the GT2 RS muffler, the homies at JCR reached out who make exhausts for the turbo Porsches that I've had. And I never thought about the fact that because Johan made it for the GT2 RS factory muffler, we can use an aftermarket GT2 RS muffler. And I'll show you why I think this might be kind of cool for this car. All right, so at first glance, I can tell you that this is definitely gonna be a lot louder. I knew it had mufflers, but I thought they would be a little bit bigger than this, but it's cool because I kind of wanted it to be a little bit louder. The big reason why though I'm excited about this is this right here. This is a true X pipe. And now what I think is going on the inside of this, don't mark my words because this is just from inspecting it with a borescope. You basically have the exhaust gases coming in from each side, and they're a little transfer thing here, like a baffled plate, but the exhaust is basically hitting a wall and then it has to go down and then back out, versus having an X pipe, which in theory might create some sort of scavenging effect or allow for better mixing of the pulses, which might make it sound a little more exotic. I don't know, it's all theory, but we're literally gonna put this on, see if it sounds different, put it on the dyno, and we'll know instantly if we picked up or lost power or if it just sounds good or not good. Either way, it was cool. I appreciate them sending it out. We'll be able to bolt it right up, and that's the reason why we didn't make the final tips for this muffler yet, because if we love how this one sounds and it makes a lot more power, we'll probably keep this on. Look at that. Titanium clamp even.
Everybody see Marissa's shoes? Flex, let them know.
I've done pretty much every bushing and upgrade that you can do to the front end of this thing to make it feel more rigid, but it still feels a little bit like cushy on turn-in. So what I'm gonna do now, if you look, it's got these super soft bushings on the rack. I'm gonna do upgraded rack bushings because there's a small chance that that rack is deflecting and moving around a little bit. And there's also a brace that will give us a little bit more rigidity. Can you see it move at all if I move the wheels maybe? It's just gonna be hard when there's no load on it to show.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to take my word for it. This just braces from here to here.
I see.
Yeah. Soft hard. Thanks, Jeff. So we were told that you can't do the trans mount bushing on a 964 in the car. You can, but you're gonna need a BC Racing top hat, which acts as the perfect shim. That way you can get it in. I shouldn't count my chickens before we have them, but they're
You got a lot of them.
in.
So
Yeah, we do have a lot of chickens.
that's pretty damn close.
I know, we're so close. Ooh, that trans bushing kicked our ass, but it's finally time to start this thing up and see what it sounds like. Still pretty quiet. Very quiet. This is definitely the sound I was going for. But I can already hear just revving it that there's gonna be a drone point. Like 3,000 RPM. But I'm gonna drive it around and see how it sounds before I start revving it, let it get some heat in it. It's gonna take some real world testing. I definitely hear a drone right here. You can even hear it on D-cell. Right there. How bad is it gonna be in real life though? I'm not sure. Definitely the highest pitch sounding yet. Guess what, Kumquat? The giveaway is still live for the RTR Mustang Spec 5, and you can enter by purchasing $5 from LZMFG Drift HQ or RTRvehicles.com. Support what we do, get some merchandise, BC coilovers, heat wave, Rios detailing supplies, drift parts, or RTR vehicles parts, and every $5 you spend gets you in for a chance to win my beautiful Mustang and $15,000 cash. Appreciate you guys. We launched a bunch of stuff last week. Go check it out if you haven't. Link is in the description. Mike will not forget to put it there because I'm in a rush to go see Knock Loose tonight, and I always show up and almost miss the concert, and it sucks. Reminder, Mike, don't forget to put the link below. Click it or ticket.
Put what below?
Click it or ticket. Dyno time, Freddy stopped by and we're gonna see if the exhaust picked up any power. It's pretty simple. He does a pull. Obviously if it doesn't go super lean, that's good. But if it does go a little lean and it wants more fuel, that means it's probably gonna make more power. If it goes rich, that means that the engine is consuming less air and is probably gonna make less power. So we'll do a pull, see what happens, and the numbers will tell. Sounds great. There's a little bit of drone, and that drone might actually be an indication of the exhaust pulses fighting each other, because we actually lost about 30 to 40 horsepower below 4,000 RPM. It made pretty much the same up top, but I don't know if it's going to be worth losing that drivability. But that's going from like 120 horsepower down there to like 80 horsepower, which is a pretty big drop. It sucks. Obviously this is an exhaust system that's designed for a turbo car, where you obviously wouldn't have that drone, and the turbos are what's actually feeding the engine, and it might actually make more power in a turbo car. But NA stuff is weird. We're learning that with a 4-rotor, we're learning it with this, and sometimes the things that we think will make more power don't. So it's fun to kind of learn and experiment with different stuff, but as good as this system sounded, as easy as it was to put on, I don't think it's it from the power side. Now before I give up on this setup completely, I did realize one thing. I'm not really giving it a fair comparison because these tips technically shrink down in diameter and then have this like little square tip. So it's possible that that's hurting somewhat. So I'm gonna put some other random tips that we have on just for the sake of testing to see if that picks up some of the power that we lost. Before, after, will it make a difference? We'll find out. These tips definitely aren't pretty, but we'll see if they make a difference. Kind of impressive. The big tip actually picked up 10 horsepower everywhere. We're getting another pull to make sure it's not just because the car is cold, to see if the results are repeatable. The ECU is adding fuel everywhere, which tells us that it wants more fuel, so maybe it did make more power with it. Alright, so to make a quick recap, the yellow is where we started off with this thing, and the red was when we did the new headers and the GT2 center muffler. Lost a tiny bit down low before, like, let's just say 4,500, and then onwards we had some decent gains. Now with the new setup, we picked up even more up top, even more in the mid-range, but that dip got pretty extreme. So I think what we need to do is drive it on the street and see if that's maybe some sort of irregularity in the dyno, or if it really does want that much less fuel there. We have had weird scenarios with cars where they want one thing on the dyno than a different in real life.
Yeah, it happens.
What do you think causes that? Just the way the dyno loads it?
The ramp rate, right? Like how the dyno unlocks that first little bit and the PIDs catch itself.
Yeah.
I always play around with like a long ramp rate, short ramp rate, and I haven't found a middle ground.
Interesting.
And just like that spool up period, I feel like it's not very consistent, but I don't know.
Next up on the chopping block, we're gonna take the R32 out just to make sure the rolling anti-lag's dialed. We played around with some settings, never really got it perfect. And if I do any roll racing at GTR Festival this weekend, I wanna make sure I'm ready to win. Am I good to try rolling anti-lag?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it works better in the old way. Okay. And obviously, like, I mean, maybe it could build a little bit more boost, but
Right.
it didn't surge. Before it was like starting to go before I released it.
Got it. So that was 15 pounds of boost.
You want to raise it a little bit, and then we'll just
Let me see if there's any vehicle speed or boost by gear pulling in that. So 1 second.
I feel like it works good. I mean, it's a little soft on the hip, but I feel like that helps the traction.
Yeah, so that built a little more boost. That was 20 pounds.
But I feel like it doesn't need more than 20 pounds on the hip. As long as I'm in, like, I shouldn't be going from so low of RPM that we needed to build more boost anyway.
No, yeah, you started at 5,000 and it held it. It went at 5,100, so it pushed a little bit through, but
Yeah.
it's always going to push because it doesn't have closed loop feedback.
I mean, that feels pretty good.
Okay. All right.
Good car. You know what's crazy? I drove the E46 yesterday, and I think the E46 feels faster, but the sounds and like the way it delivers power is so much more tame.
The E30 this or E36?
The E46.
Yeah.
Where this is just so like erratic.
This
like,
is too boaty in the rear. It's very like walks.
I like it. It's just the noises make you feel like you're going faster. The E46 is just like all business.
Yeah.
We're gonna test the launch control now. I'm not planning on going there and doing a bunch of drag racing, but you know, if the time presents itself and I can do a quick hit or two, I just want to sound cool, you know? You know, who needs a frame shop when you got an Owen? Right, Owen?
Yeah.
You want to show him your technique for getting my frame rails level again?
Yeah, I might need your help though.
All right, let's see. You weren't joking. Oh my gosh. Is that gonna actually move it down?
It did like half an inch.
You got a half an inch more to go?
Yeah.
Let it rip.
You gonna try?
Yeah, do it. Oh yeah. It's funny, it only bends like the last half of the frame rail. But you know what? It drove good before, so. We just want to make all our mounts and everything good. That way when we get the radiator and intercooler on there, it's not all sitting crooked. You still got more to go?
That was about 16.
The heck you getting into here, Owen?
You know, Adam hit some stuff and bent everything. So now we're unbending it and reinforcing it.
So what, you just making a cross member right now?
Yeah, well we're gonna make a bar right here to tie in the traction arms, and then also it's gonna mount the radiator and the intercooler.
Oh, this thing's fixed?
Close.
Close?
Oh my god, the amount of hardware. You wanna show me what's been done?
Ain't much been done. My boy Cricket clocked in
Yeah.
for a 2-hour shift. He needs to come finish, but it has to be after work. And it gets dark at 6. You guys saw it yesterday probably or whatever.
Yeah, that
It was like far.
completely split.
Now it's close. And we're back square. Cricket showed me the 4, 5, 6 method or something like that.
4, 5, 6
They
method.
measure from like here to here, and then here to here, and then here to here.
Oh, to
He's
make
got a
it
little line there.
to get it square.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
it worked.
Smart guy. Look at that.
We're hooked up to the ground now, not the truck, but we
Oh,
ain't moving.
that's much better.
Yeah, and it has a stance though, so once it's on the truck, we'll check again. But
Yeah.
we're gonna get some plates going, some reinforcement, Johns.
Beef it up a little bit.
Yeah, and then I'm putting the panels back on,
Nice.
and then I leave in the morning.
This thing a Duramax or what?
Oh yeah, baby. Compound turbo.
Oh, I see.
Lock them bad boys up in there.
Very nice.
You're nice and square now.
Hell yeah.
Man, we got a square trailer, and I'm a round guy, I think. Of course. I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. I have my R34 and my R32 pretty much ready to get loaded to go to GTR Festival. I hope some of you guys come out. It's right around the corner from Dallas, Texas. I will be there on Saturday and Sunday. We'll have an LZ booth there. I may or may not exhilarate some of my cars. I think my R32 is gonna make it from California in time. Tommy's shipping it out. It's been stored over there. I'm gonna get to use it in Texas. I'm stoked. I miss that car. Lots of random stuff in these past couple videos. I struggle with how to title them because so much random stuff, but I hope you guys enjoy it. I always try to take the technical approach, show why we put parts on cars, the process, the amazing talent that we have here and how they build cars, and hopefully you guys can learn something, and it's also entertaining too. Appreciate you guys. Make sure to comment and like and subscribe and do all the annoying that all the dumb YouTubers ask you to do, and I'll see you soon. Guess what, kumquat? I should have rolled with that one. Guess what, kump? Guess what, cum? Guess what, cum? Alright, we got your outro. Guess what, cum? Dude, guess what, cum? What? Mother! You guys didn't buy merch. You don't appreciate how badly I tried to spin this hat. If you're still watching this video, I appreciate you, but this sucks.